Alexander Shulgin, thanks a lot for joining us on the program. Let's start with what you said about the West's response to the Russian inquiry into the Navalny case. You said it's empty and devoid of content. Can you break that down for us?
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be with you. It is a great honor for me. To answer your question, here is what I can say. To begin with, the Western countries have not answered all the questions that we have asked them. They've omitted some of them, and they did not respond to some of them. At the same time, there were also questions that were actually answered. They did provide us some answers. In our opinion, these answers are devoid of any content. Let me just give you two examples. We asked them, who was this mysterious person on the evacuation flight who accompanied Navalny on the flight from Omsk to Berlin? And the answer from Germany was that the evacuation flight was leased by a private company, and the government, the German government or other agencies did not have any representatives on board. So we can hardly believe that the government did not have a list of people on board. So they seem to be concealing something, not only from us, but also from the German parliamentarians. We asked the British what was the role of Miss Pevchik, who is a British subject now and protected by British secret services. And the answer that we got from the UK, that the role of Ms. Pevchik has been documented in Navalny's anti-corruption investigations, and the same applies to all the questions we asked about the chemical formula of the toxic agent that was allegedly discovered in biological samples, and the bottle with fingerprints and with traces of a chemical agent. So this is what we have, and this is why we say that these answers are devoid of any content.
Why do you think these countries failed to answer Russia's request?
We believe that the Western countries, led by the United States, have a conspiracy to shift the blame on the Russian Federation. They've acted in a coordinated manner, and they consult each other, and we see this by the way they responded to our inquiry. They did it at the same time. They sent in their answers at the same time, which means this was a coordinated initiative. We asked them uneasy questions, and it seems that they are afraid that they could say something that they were not supposed to say, and which could question their version of the implication of Russia in this case, in the Russian state. But not only did they fail to answer our questions, but they have been concealing evidence. We also asked them about the bottle, this infamous bottle. We remember these September days in 2020 when the representatives of the federal government all of a sudden said that this bottle that somehow arrived in Germany contained traces of a chemical agent similar to that was discovered in the body of the Russian blogger. They said this only once, but after that they did everything not to mention this, not to raise this issue once again. So what did they say now? They said that having a bottle does not mean that you can get to the bottom of the case. Listen, this is not real. any criminal investigator, any expert in forensic evidence who knows his job will tell you, how can you work without evidence? But this is what we have regarding the answers we got from Western countries.
Well, earlier in an interview with Russian media, you said that the OPCW is concealing crucial information in the Navalny case. What kind of information were you referencing there?
First of all, I'm referring attempts to conceal from us the formula of the chemical agent that was allegedly discovered by the Bundeswehr doctors and then experts in France, in Sweden, and as was confirmed by an OPCW certified laboratory. And they said that they wanted to conceal this formula so that no one learns what this formula is, but you can communicate it to us by other channels, not necessarily publicly, but they told us that they are unable to do that because the person that holds the right to this report is Germany, and Germany refers us to the technical secretariat, so deal with the technical secretariat. So this is a very tricky situation. And they are also saying that this chemical agent was developed in the Russian Federation. The second point I wanted to make is that the OPCW and its technical secretariat have a very strict procedure for dealing with physical evidence. So there is a chain of custody for making sure that this evidence is safe on every stage. Working with this physical evidence, there is a protocol, there is a filming, photo and video evidence that is provided as a state party to the CWC. We asked the technical secretariat a very straightforward question. Could you please provide us photo and video footage showing how the OPCW experts worked with the evidence, how they collected the samples from the Russian blogger, as well as photo and video footage from the procedure when the samples were separated in The Hague before they were sent to OPCW certified labs. 3 months have gone by, but there was no answer from the technical secretariat. They did try to provide some kind of a response, but it was totally meaningless this time, so they're continuing to conceal something. The absence of this evidence proving that all the necessary procedures were complied with, this could have far-reaching consequences. All the conclusions that were made regarding all this case could be invalid. And it is important to note one more thing. The Russian Federation asked the technical secretariat for assistance in order to get to the bottom of this case. We proposed holding a joint investigation with the Russian experts, OPCW experts, using the equipment that was used at the OPCW laboratories for conducting these tests. And this joint research was designed as we proposed it to determine when, under what circumstances, outside of the Russian Federation, the Russian blogger was found to have toxic agents in his body. What happened next? Let's call things as they are. After that, the technical secretariat derailed this assistance provision under the pretext of saying that there was no precedent for that. So, since there is no precedent, they cannot provide us the assistance. And what this tells us is that not only the countries I've mentioned are coordinating the actions, but they are coordinating
Russia's
the
representative to the OPCW, Alexander Shulgin, thanks a lot for those updates.